It's the Recruiting Roundup powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. I'm Jared Cohen. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. We bring the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting and do so year-round. This edition of the Roundup, we're talking tight ends. We're going to spotlight 5 going into the 2015 season. One of them had a huge week in the recruiting world. Plus, there's some other recruiting news, which we're going to start with first. We'll get to the tight ends in a minute, starting with Brandon Jamison out at Chaparral.
Yeah, adds his first FBS scholarship offer, comes from Air Force, guy that I really am intrigued by his skill set. We talked about it before. He's 6'3", he's 230, knows how to get after the quarterback, had 14 sacks as a junior en route to being the conference defensive player of the year, also one of the state's top hurdlers, now has 4 scholarship offers. If you add it, he has already been offered by Cornell, NAU, and South Dakota State.
Chaparral always shoving out Division I talents. Another school that is as well is Chandler High School. We've talked about so many of their players, and now another player picks up his first offer.
Yeah, we talk about Micah Campos was offered by Army. First offer for him, guy that's kind of overshadowed with all the weapons that they had at Chandler last year, but was an honorable mention all-section player, had over 10 touchdowns, a dual threat kind of guy, can catch the ball in the backfield, has several hundred yards rushing, guy that Sean Aguano is very high on, runs sub-11 in the 100 meters, so a very talented player, yet another one at Chandler High.
A 2015 quarterback is in the news, a quarterback from Apache Junction, Akola. He was going to be heading to Mesa Community College, but this past week signs with Wabash University in Indiana, so congrats to Adam. He's a very bright kid, excited to see what he does at the next level. Now, Jason, you're really tapped into the junior college ranks as well, and there's 3 players that prepped in the Valley that are starting to pick up some interest after playing JUCO ball last season.
Yeah, 2 of them are former teammates at Shadow Mountain High School, both offensive tackles that will play at their prospective colleges this fall. One is Jeremiah Szafranski out of Glendale. Yeah, he played left tackle for them. 6'4", 290 pounds, was offered by South Dakota State and is going to visit this weekend. And then Gabe Murphy out of Mesa Community College, big guy, 6'8", 320 pounds. He signed his letter of intent with Hampton. The last guy I want to spotlight is Austin Contrell. He played at Mountain Ridge High School. Big receiver, 6'4", 200 pounds. Played his freshman year at Scottsdale Community College and had a solid season and is a qualifier. Could leave right now. He's been offered by Texas State for the following after fall. Talking to the coaches at Scottsdale, though, they think he might get snatched up before then. Boise State's coming in to see him here pretty quickly.
Now, Jason, let's get into our tight ends. We mentioned the first tight end that we want to talk about had a huge week last week. That is the very talented, athletic Tyler Johnson out of Highland.
Yeah, and only going to be a junior, adds 2 big-time offers, both from in-state schools, Arizona State and the U of A. The first to offer him, guy that I absolutely love. Love his skill set. Very good player over the next couple years. Will be a top 5, top 10 prospect in that class.
Talk about him a little. What makes him such an intriguing prospect, being a top 5 potential player?
You look at him, he's about 6'3" or 6'4", 230 pounds, has excellent hands. He's more of that new school spread offense type of tight end, basically a big glorified wide receiver, so he fits into what offense is doing right now. Again, a guy that's going to be a multiple BCS offer level player.
We're used to seeing the last name Gilbert at the school, Higley, being very, very dynamic for the Knights offense, and there's another tight end, Bryce Gilbert, that's going to be having a big season.
Again, only going to be a junior, had a very good sophomore season last year. Guy that I watched on film when Coach Zuby sent me his tape, and I pegged him as a Division I guy. I love this guy. 6'5", weighs 210 pounds, and has a very bright future.
And he's cousins with their leading receiver from last season that just graduated, Trent Gilbert. Andrew Nichols, the defending state champion Centennial Coyotes, have a stud tight end that is also going to just be a junior.
Yeah, I really like him, like his skill set. He's about 6'3", 220 pounds. Guy that in Centennial's offense is asked to put his hand down in the ground and be a run blocker. So he's more of an old school tight end, a traditional Y, where he's going to put his hand down and block and then catch passes more from time to time. Guy that I really like. He's getting a lot of traction early on in his career. Doesn't have an offer yet, but that will change. He's a very talented player.
Of another very talented player, Christian Skeptaris out of Chaparral.
More of an H-back, tight end kind of hybrid player, has an early offer from Cornell. He's in that 6'2", 6'3" range, weighs about 225, 230. Very smart kid, very, very good player at Chaparral High School.
And the final tight end that we want to spotlight in this edition of the Roundup heading into the 2015 season, Sal Point's tight end, Jacob Chazak.
Yeah, a guy that I really like that I think is going to get an offer here pretty quickly. He attended Boise State's junior day, and the Broncos could be the first to offer. Probably going to get recruited as a linebacker, but he was an all-section tight end, guy that is very, very big. He played some defensive end as a sophomore on their state championship team, so he's very versatile in what he can do, but a Division I player nonetheless.
That's That's it for this week's edition, and those are the tight ends. Coming up soon, make sure you check it out. We're going to be talking about Jason's specialty, the offensive line, so make sure you look out for that. Until then, that's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity.